This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Half of Wisconsin's fire chiefs say they don't have enough money to cover their budgets. UW-Oshkosh researchers talked to 200 fire chiefs. Their study shows a rise in service calls, staffing shortages, and budget shortfalls. Also, more than 10% of Wisconsin's fire departments missed at least one service call in the last year. If crowds are any sign, the excitement is building for Kamala Harris's Democratic campaign for president. 12,000 people came out for her rally yesterday in Eau Claire.
The path to the White House runs right through this state, and with your help, we will win.
Republican running mate J.D. Vance is speaking to reporters everywhere Harris stumps this week.
We think it's important to have a counter-narrative here.
Harris is introducing her running mate Tim Walz to swing state voters. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are in a virtual tie in Wisconsin in the latest Marquette poll. Trump is up by 1 point with registered voters. Harris is up by 1 with likely voters. But if President Biden had stayed in the race, Trump would be leading by 5 points.
When he made that decision, it opened the door to a fresh campaign. So there was a very quick embrace of Harris. That, I think, was interesting.
Marquette poll director Charles Franklin says Senator Tammy Baldwin is leading Eric Hovde 53-46. The state of Wisconsin is moving ahead with plans to buy the Wisconsin Veterans Museum in downtown Madison. The State Building Commission approved plans to spend $9 million yesterday. The aging building would be torn down and a new state-of-the-art museum would go up in its place. The future of the universities of Wisconsin is up for discussion before a legislative study committee today. System President Jay Rothman speaks with the panel, which is looking at everything from costs to enrollment to graduation rates. The committee is supposed to make recommendations to lawmakers next year. The man accused in a shocking murder in Milwaukee last spring had plans to commit the crime weeks ahead of time. That's according to court records that say Maxwell Anderson told an informant he hatched his plan in early March. Sharday Robinson disappeared in early April. Her dismembered remains turned up throughout the Milwaukee area. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know, closer to home.
For WXCO News, I'm Brittany Merlot. The Wisconsin Fall Primary is less than a week away, taking place on Tuesday, August 13th. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is today, and the deadline to register to vote is 5 p.m. tomorrow. To learn more about who and what is on your ballot this August and where your polling place is, head to myvote.wi.gov. And not all municipalities have bilingual ballots. For that to happen, municipalities must meet a state quota. At least 10,000 people and at least 5% of the voting population must speak a non-English language. So, if a bilingual ballot is not offered there are other ways to figure out the voting process. In Marathon County, some Spanish-speaking information is given to voters, but if a non-English speaker needs additional assistance to vote, some exceptions can be made. First, they can bring a translator with them, all the way to the polling booth. This person, though, cannot be a boss or an employer. And if you speak Hmong, you can go to the Hmong American Center in Wausau. Consumers need to be cautious of slamming calls, which happens when a customer's phone service is illegally changed without their permission. Landlines are being targeted, forcing elderly to buy cell phones after it happens. This is all a part of a pattern for Clear Rate Communications. The FCC has received complaints about Clear Rate slamming customers. The FCC says ask your telephone company to not let anyone besides you change your plan. And if you've been slammed, call your providers and tell them what happened and that you want to be switched back to your original plan. You won't have to pay the bill for the company that slammed you for the first 30 days, and any charges can be removed from your bill. Wisconsin residents are encouraged to file a slamming report with the FCC immediately. And it's time to apply for the special firearm deer hunt held at Sandhill Wildlife Area. This 2-day hunt will happen on November 2nd and 3rd. Head to the Sandhill Outdoor Skills Center webpage to apply now. The start of the school year is right around the corner, and helping your child fit their backpack correctly is important to avoid neck pain, headaches, and other injuries. Megan Stankowski is a physical therapist and athletic trainer with Aspirus Health.
A backpack should be positioned on a child's back with both straps used around the shoulders. The backpack should be at the hips or no lower, and shoulders should be snug tight so the backpack is not swaying side to side.
She said parents need to check in with their child to make sure that they're not experiencing any issues with their backpack.
Asking their child first, hey, how do you like your backpack? How does it feel? Because the child's not going to relate any pain or anything like that to the backpack.
Kids shouldn't carry more than 15% of their body weight in a backpack, and it's important to load the heaviest items low and near the center of the back. X-Roads 41 holds its inaugural event in Oshkosh Festival Park this weekend. Manager John Gorley.
What's the future like? How do we reinvent this festival experience? And that's what people are going to see August 8, 9, 10 in Oshkosh.
X-Roads 41 opens today and features headliners Old Dominion, Brooks & Dunn, and Journey. Plus, cream puffs and the Wisconsin State Fair are almost synonymous. But Tess Kirkson says another Wisconsin treat is just as important.
We have plenty of cheese curds to go around, and you can actually kind of sample all the different types. And of course, we have deep fried cheese curds and then the refrigerated kind that squeak in your mouth from the Wisconsin Products Pavilion too. There's no shortage of cheese curds here at Wisconsin State Fair.
The Wisconsin State Fair runs until Sunday in West Dallas. And that's what you need to know. I'm Brittany Merlot for WXCO.
The Packers' injury list grows. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. NFL training camp week 3, and the Packers' first-round draft pick, offensive lineman Jordan Morgan, is injured.
He had a shoulder. It's nothing long-term, but he's going to be out probably for a week or so.
Head coach Matt LaFleur. The Packers played the Browns in Cleveland this Saturday. Baseball, 8 runs and 16 hits. The Brewers beat the Braves last night in Atlanta 8-5 to win the series. Pat Murphy.
You talk about how relentless our offense was today. It was relentless, and it wasn't a lot of extra base hits, but it was relentless.
And at the Olympics, U.S. sprinter Kenny Bednarek from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, qualifies for the 200-meter finals with a time of 20 seconds flat.
I already knew what pace I was at, and for me, it was like, hey, I know I'm there. I just got to make sure to execute the race, step on the gas, and don't let up. I'm not surprised with what I ran. Only thing I was just hoping for was the wind to work with me, and it did, and I'm happy with my performance.
A replay of today's finals coming up tonight on NBC. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Well, it's not a powerhouse in college sports, but Florida International Stadium will have one of the coolest names in college football. Armando Christian Perez, also known as Pitbull, has purchased naming rights for the school stadium. The creator of hits such as Give Me Everything and Timber paid $6 million for the rights to have the stadium bear his name over 5 years. The entrepreneur and philanthropist, who did not attend college himself, says he purchased the rights to inspire the community and create opportunities. Pitbull probably could have adopted a highway for far less cash. Theater fans are giving their regards to Broadway. Deadline reports that Broadway is having a stellar year with hits like Oh Mary and The Outsiders. The former is a comedy about Mary Todd Lincoln. The show has been pulling in $1 million a week since mid-July. And The Outsiders, a musical based on S.E. Hinton's book from 1967, is setting attendance records. In its 11th week of the current season, Broadway has taken in almost $370 million. That's the kind of money that makes you want to sing and dance. 2 of the hottest stars in Hollywood are in discussions to star in the new A24 film, The Drama. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are in early negotiations to play a couple about to get married when something unexpected happens. The incredibly busy Zendaya is coming off 2 big hits this summer, including Dune and Challengers, and is about to start filming a new season of Euphoria. The MTV Video Music Award nominations have been announced, and to no one's surprise, Taylor Swift leads the pack with 10. Swift received 8 nominations for her Fortnite music video and was nominated in the Best Pop category and for Artist of the Year. She was followed closely by one of her favorite collaborators in Post Malone, who was nominated 8 times for Swift's Fortnite video and got a 9th nom for his country hit I Had Some Help with Morgan Wallen. 20 years after the death of comedian Mitch Hedberg, a documentary is in the works about his life. Hedberg was known for his one-liners and made several appearances on late-night TV and did 3 stand-up comedy albums. He died of a drug overdose in 2005 at the age of 37. The film, which has been 5 years in the making, will include archival footage of Hedberg's act, interviews with friends, and fellow comedians, including Jim Gaffigan. The project is untitled at the moment with no exact release date. Being one of the richest people in the world and owning social media outlet X does not make Elon Musk above criticism, not even from family. Page 6 reports Musk's own daughter, Vivian Jenna Wilson, who identifies as trans, called her father a serial adulterer and not a family man, adding that he has had several cheating scandals and calls him a racist. Musk has 12 children with 3 women and has attacked his daughter for her gender identity. Should be a fun Thanksgiving in the Musk house this year. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cloudy with a few showers this morning, gradual clearing by later this afternoon. Our high today 71 with wind out of the west at 5 to 15. Tonight mostly clear, we'll drop down to 50. Tomorrow partly cloudy, a little breezy with a high of 67. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now it's 64.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com.